أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Good evening. My name is Wu, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, bro, how you doing?
And my story is a little different. I'm not unique, but mine is different. I made it here through the penitentiary blue light special. I got here as a result of doing some things I ain't gonna talk about. Um, I got here through the penitentiary. I came to Alcoholics Anonymous because I wanted to stop going to prison. That's why I'm here. I wanted to stop going to prison. I wanted to stop uh, committing crimes. I wanted to stop every time my mama see me, she grit her teeth. I wanted to stop tricking off the hookers, right? That's what I wanted to do. And so I came to Alcoholics Anonymous and was introduced to a program in Bellingham. I'm a part of the North Gate group up there. My sponsor is Jay Young. Oops, can't supposed to use his name. Jay, and my story goes like this. I've been in and out of prison all my life. I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and the reality is I grew up in the gang life. Um, Gang life was fun for me. It was all about colors. It was all about protecting your neighborhood. It was all about hurting the next person. Um, I didn't like the hurting part as much, but I liked it to be a part of my community and show younger brothers and show people that we was more than just a gang. Um, from there, I went to prison in Minnesota, Chicago, Denver, Colorado. Every state I've lived in, I've been in prison more than once. Uh, I came to Washington, ended up in Bellingham. I'm not gonna talk about all that other stuff because only got 30 minutes, and everybody can tell a war story. You know what I mean? Uh, but I want to talk about the psychic change and what happened for me. Right? That's the real story. Right? The real story is that I was in the prison and I had 83 months. I had a first degree escape and a possession of controlled substance. My story, yeah, got a lot to do with crack cocaine. I understand it's an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. I get that. Um, but the reality is that's my story, right? Um, I go to prison and I'm sitting in front of this man with this black robe on. And he says, "Oh, yeah, uh, we're gonna send you to, I go to treatment. I go not to treatment, but I go to have a Rule 25 done in the jail." And she said, "Yep, you're a late stage alcoholic." I said, "Oh, I ain't never thought I was late to nothing." You know what I mean? I knew I was alcoholic, right? She talking about you're late stage. I've been drunk since I was 12. You know what I mean? On the south side of Chicago, we used to steal my mama beers, and we drank some of the nastiest beer in the world, old style. The nastiest beer in the world. But we drank it, you know. And I can remember taking that first drink and feeling that ease and comfort. Then I knew how my mama and them could dance and, laugh and party. I was like, so this is what happens. Because I suppose she cussed me out before these people got over here. But she take a drink and that sense of ease and comfort would come, you know? And everything would be okay. And I always wanted to be okay, right? Always. I always wanted to be okay. And I came to Alcoholics Anonymous, and Alcoholics Anonymous taught me how to be okay, right? taught me that I didn't need to drink to have friends. Because I never had friends nowhere. I really had associates, you know. People use me, I use them. Sometimes I get over, I use a little more than them. Hey, that's a part of that lifestyle that goes with that. So I don't know. I was in prison. I was in front of the judge, and this was like my 10th time going to prison. I grew up in the prison system, you know. All of the 80s, I was in prison. You know, most of the 80s, from 89 to like 99. You know, I was in and out of prisons. And this last time, the judge said, "Yeah, well, Mister blah 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 blah, because you can't use you can't use no last names up here. Um, I need. We're going to send you to treatment." I'm like, "Yeah, go on to treatment. Nice." He said, "But you're doing treatment in prison." I said, "What?" What a blessing that he sent me to prison. He sent me. It was the best treatment I've ever been to. It was a behavior modification program, and it taught me how to take a look at my behavior. Because what I realized, and through Alcoholics Anonymous and the doctor's opinion, you know, and you know, there's a solution, that it was the behaviors and my thinking that kept me sick. It was my behavior that I thought was exciting, fun, and interesting. No, it wasn't though. I was a product of my environment, right? And what I know about my disease today is that, my sobriety date is 6/29/2008. I have a sponsor, and I sponsor guys. You just met one of my guys. And, um, God willing, this Thursday I celebrate 15 years. You know, and I owe it all to Alcoholics Anonymous, because if not for Alcoholics Anonymous, I wouldn't be here today, right? Because I found the other program after I found Alcoholics Anonymous. There's another fellowship that I participated into, right? There's only two of them. And, Alcoholics Anonymous has granted me a life worth living, and it has shown me how to be an adult when I still a lot of times want to be a little kid, right? And when I get off into my little chicken shit feelings, right? And Alcoholics Anonymous has taught me how to work through those things. So I'm standing in front of this judge, and I go in front of this judge, and he tells me to go into treatment in prison. So I go to prison, I go to Stafford Creek. And when I'm in Stafford Creek, I'm like, man, when I'm gonna get treatment? What? This can't be treatment. This, I'm like, man, I need to get treatment so I can get dope. I was a doser, so I just had to complete treatments, go to work release, and start living. And so I was in my cell one day, and let me back up. So boom, uh, these two guys tell me, "Hey man, if you don't change your behavior, you coming back to prison." I cussed them out, got up, went in my cell, and kept doing me. But I was going to AA when I was in there. But something clicked one day. I was in a meeting, and we was reading page 8, where it talks about Bill was catapulted into the fourth dimension, and I hollered out in the group, "Bill, take me with you!" And the outside speaker I was like, "Man, what is that?" And he was like, "Woo is just uh, living in the here and now. And I got up from that meeting, man, and I was a free man, even though I was locked up in prison. And all the mentality, all the resentments, all that was lifted from me right then and there. And the only thing I knew was that I needed to continue to be a part of the solution. Being a part of the solution is not gang banging. Being part of the solution is not tricking off with prostitutes. Being part of the solution is being a part of the solution. And sometimes being a part of the solution is just being there and being quiet, right? Um, that's what I've learned, right? And the reality is that I went through the program, and I remember the night I had my spiritual awakening. I was in my cell, and it was about 1 o'clock, and it was like the color of that my cell with the light on. I had lights, so you know how I say on the Serenity Prayer. Well, the back of the Serenity Prayer, the contents in the back, the beige light. That's how my cell was. And I cried out to God, and I asked God. I said, God, uh, if you don't allow me to die in the penitentiary, uh, I will go to AA. I will catheterize myself. I will go to a therapist. I'll go to meetings. I'll work the program. I'll stop gang banging. I'll take my medicine. I had made a pact with God right then and there. I had made a decision that if God would help me not die in the penitentiary, that he wouldn't have to worry about me doing no wrong. So I ended up graduating the program. I had I was in the program for 17 months, uh, and I learned a lot about myself. And what I found, what I thought I was nothing like that. Uh, I really cared about people, and I had a great respect for humanity, even though I had grew up in that lifestyle. You know, and I I worked the steps, and you know, another wonderful thing that happened to me when I was in there was that I went through the 164 pages of the big book with an outside representative, and let me tell you something. It's one of the best things I ever done, right? Because one of the speakers was like, "Man, you've been here twice. Will when you gonna go through the book? When you gonna, you know, you come and you do this and you do that, but when you gonna do the work?" I was like, "Man, when you gonna do the work?" I'm like, "Man, all right, I'll do the work. Take me through the book." He like, "Nope, I'm not taking you through the book. He gonna take you through the book." And the person who he, you know, in the book it talks about it on page 30, we are people that would normally not mix. So I'm looking at him and he looking at me, and we like, what the? And this dude, man, took me through the book, man, and I listened. And he let me read a little bit, but he did most of the reading, and I listened to him. And I said, "Hey, hold on for a minute. We're going too fast. I need to ask a couple of questions." And I asked him a couple of questions, and he'd tell me his degree of understanding. And I was like, "Oh." And I highlight, underline, and a couple of things stuck out to me in the book. Like uh, where it says men and women drink essentially because they like the effects produced by alcohol. Uh, he told me to cross out men and women and put woo drinks and like, I was like, oh yeah, that's true, ain't it? I'm like, yeah, you're right. You know, and you know, it was other things that stuck out to me. Recoil forward as if it was a hot flame, you know. that stuck out to me. Can you give me my phone? Cause I only got like 15 minutes left, and there's something I want to read when I'm done. When I get close to being done. So anyway, I went through the book, and then I had the opportunity to continue to talk to my sponsor, who had left and moved to Hawaii, and he was sending me packages. He was like, "Good, I'm glad you're doing this, and doing that," and it was crazy because I got sober in Bellingham first, and then I came down here and caught a case in Everett, and I ended up. The parole officer told me, said, "Hey, um, you can't go back to Bellingham. They never want you to come back there." I'm like, "Oh, great! I've been kicked out of the city, right?" And I came down here, and I moved in a clean and sober house, and it was a good deal, you know. And God bless his heart. Seven, one of my brothers, uh, I speak on him because rest in peace. Um, he got shot with a hot needle. And I can remember going to the bar with him, and he'd be like, "Dog, you ain't gonna drink." And I'm like, "No, I ain't gonna drink." "All right, we gonna hang out, but you ain't gonna drink." I'm like, "No, I ain't gonna drink, dog." And we sat at the bar. I had my coat. He had his little beer, and he said, "Man, you got a promise me you ain't gonna drink, man." I'm like, "Man, dog, I'm telling you, I ain't gonna drink. I'm not gonna drink, man." And I've kept my word to him. I haven't drank. And I don't think about drinking today. Uh, Today I think about how can I be a part of society and be accepted, right? Uh, because a lot of people don't want to accept us. You know, it's sad that all over the world you can have cancer, right? And they, oh, poor thing. You got alcoholism. They look at you like you're crazy. You know, you got crackism. They look at you like you're crazy. This disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. And the cold-blooded thing about this disease is it don't take prisoners. It takes hostages. I was a hostage to alcoholism. I can remember getting up in the morning and shaking like drugstore dice, and happen to have that drink to even out. I just wanted to even out. I didn't want to get no buzz. I just wanted to even out. You know what I mean? And the reality is that man, I was deep in the bowels and the grips of alcoholism. I was a full-fledged alcoholic. And the wonderful thing about being in the program, what I've learned, that's okay. Because you got to have your own spiritual experience so you can share that and you can help somebody. Um, I I I think about where I left off at living in a clean and sober house, and then I went and one of my things that I had on my list. So when I got out of the penitentiary in 2000 and I think it was 10. Uh, uh, I had things on my list. My counsel told me to write 10 feasible things that I could achieve. And one was to go back to school. I've been back to school. I have a degree in chemical dependency. Uh, I also have been a lot of places. I've been to Virginia. I've been to New York. I've been to Bill's house. I've been to Bob's house. Uh, because I wanted to know, man, if I'm gonna be a part of something, man, I want to know what this deal really about. So I went to the root. You know what I'm saying? And when I went to Bill House in North Fork, New York, it was interesting because it was just a bunch of stuff, a bunch of antiques, and I sat at the table where Abby told him, choose your own conception of God. Abby pushed the bottles toward him, and I don't drink, you know. So I have experienced, and I sat at the desk where Bill W. wrote the 12 and 12 in 1953. So I mean, this is a beautiful deal, man. You know, um, you know the unique thing about Alcoholics Anonymous is that it's evolving, and you know it's evolving into something bigger than it was when I got here, right? And I see a lot of people coming to Alcoholics Anonymous. You know, I told him, I went up to him, I said, hey man, you got a sponsor? He said, sponsor? So all right, man. Here, man, in my car. Call me every day for 2 weeks, for a month. Did you call me a month or did you call me 2 weeks? It's been so long.
I think it was 3.
Yeah, 3 weeks, right? He called me. He called me. Called me every day. We got busy after he called me every day. He been with me for a while. And you know, it ain't really about me no more. It's about me helping my dudes. You know, it's about the seeing them help somebody else, right? Uh, you know, and God granted me a gift, right? And with this gift that God has granted me, I've been able to maintain my sobriety. And I continue to meet with guys 2 times a week, 3 times a week, you know, and I continue to break open that book because that book got a healing power in it. You know what I mean? And all you got to do is be willing, man. That was the coldest thing when I got to Alcoholics Anonymous, man. I wasn't real honest, but I was willing. So you say honesty, open-minded, and willingness. So for me, it happened backwards. It was willingness. When I became willing, the windows of my heart opened up, and then I became honest. Because I started caring about people. I started caring about the people that were suffering. I started caring about the dude that came in and said he had 24 hours and he didn't know what he was going to do next. I started caring about the alcoholic that's still suffering, man. You know? And, man, that's powerful in itself, man. I was thinking about what, I usually like to close with something from the big book. I got like 6 minutes left. And, all good means start on time, end on time, right? So, I want to close with the 10 step promise, but I want to say that behavior modification has been the best thing that happened to me, right? And being Alcoholics Anonymous, man, because I got an opportunity to really take a look at myself, right? And so now today, this is what my life looked like. Always wanted to have a relationship with my mom. I got a great relationship with my mom today. She called me son instead of MF. Right? Right? I got a great relationship with my little brothers. They love me to death. You know what I'm saying? All they said was, man, don't go back to prison, man. After I made my amends, to them, they said, man, I said, how can I make that right with you? I said, man, just don't go back to prison. And I haven't been back to prison in almost 14 years, and uh, what a gift, man. I've been out here. I ain't been in prison in 15 years, man. You know, uh, It's crazy. I didn't think I was gonna get sober. I didn't think I was gonna be doing this deal still. And it's easy. It get easy now. So I'm gonna close with the 10-step promise, man, because it's this is my one. Okay, it says love and tolerance is our code. I was like, love and tolerance is our code. Love and tolerance is our code. Okay. And we have ceased fighting anything and anyone, even alcohol. For by this time sanity will have returned. I think I got a little sense now. Uh, we will seldom be interested in liquor. If tempted, we recoil from it as from a hot flame. We react sanely and normally, and we will find that this has happened automatically. We will see that our new attitude towards liquor has been given to us without any thought or effort on our part. It just comes. That is the miracle of it. We are not fighting it, neither turn page. Are we avoiding temptation? We feel as though we have been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. We have not even sworn off. Instead, the problem has been removed. It doesn't exist for us. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. That is our experience. That is how we react so long as we keep in fit spiritual condition. Thank you.